Live from Chicago, this is Fox News at 9.
He escaped from the Cook County Jail more than 4 months ago, but a fugitive is back in custody tonight, giving himself up after seeing himself on TV. That story is first on Fox tonight. Good evening, I'm Robin Robinson. Mark Sapelsa has the night off. The fugitive is Randy Rensher. He escaped in late June while facing drug and weapons charges. After he escaped, he was suspected in a number of bank robberies here in Chicago, also in Houston, Columbus, Ohio, and Cleveland, which is where he was arrested today. Let's go live to Craig Wall at the Cook County Jail. Craig.
Randy Rensher remains in custody in Cleveland tonight, Robin, and it's not clear when he's going to be brought back to Chicago. When he does come back, though, it's not likely he'll be returned here to the Cook County Jail from where he escaped. Instead, he'll probably remain in federal custody because of the bank robberies. Today, he told people in Cleveland that he just got tired of running and decided it was time to give himself up. Randy Rensher walks out of a Cleveland bar in handcuffs in the custody of the FBI. His 4 months as a fugitive over.
He was pissed on my life. Cook County Jail, man, daily. He was embarrassed because I escaped up out the jail.
Rensher went on to say a series of bank robberies netted him $380,000. 2 of those robberies were in Chicago within weeks of his escape. Law enforcement was clearly relieved to have Rensher back in custody.
Well, we're pleased that he's in custody, and we're looking forward to having him back in the Chicago area. We obviously want to question him some more about the escape. We've taken disciplinary action against 3 employees, but we still have some unanswered questions.
Rensher gave himself up at the Cleveland bar called the Coach's Place, where the owner says Rensher saw himself on the new news and told the staff to call the TV station and the FBI so he could turn himself in.
When he had said that, nobody believed him. They actually said to him, oh, come on, you're full of beans or something like that.
When Rensher put a 9mm handgun on the bar, people started believing him. Brian says Rensher talked about robbing banks and about breaking out of the Cook County Jail, making a claim that was news to the Sheriff's Department.
Said that he broke out of the jail in Chicago by buying off another police officer.
The initial investigation led the Sheriff's Department to believe that Rensher stole a guard's uniform and slipped out. Now, DNA evidence from a toy gun he left behind has tied Rensher to a bank robbery in Columbus, Ohio in September, and he's also suspected of robbing a Houston bank in August. Now, the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, and the County Sheriff's Department will be retracing Rensher's steps over the past 4 months, trying to connect him to any crimes that he may have committed. The Sheriff's Department tells me tonight that there is evidence Rensher repeatedly returned to Chicago during his 4 months on the lam, which means he had help back here, and any accomplices that can be found could also face charges. The escape investigation is now also getting a second look. Live at the Cook County Jail at 28th and Sacramento, Craig Wall, Fox News Chicago.
All right, Craig, thanks for that live report. Another sad chapter to report in a custody battle over a 4-year-old boy living on the North Shore. His biological mom won custody from the lifelong foster parents who wanted to adopt him. But tonight, the biological mother's husband, the boy's stepfather, is accused of child abuse. Dane Placco is live in Glenview with the story. Dane.
Robin, normally a misdemeanor child abuse case wouldn't warrant this type of coverage, but the child who police say was abused was at the center of a custody case earlier this year that made national headlines. Back in January, 4-year-old Evan Scotty, as he was then named, was removed from the only home he'd ever known, outside of Jacksonville, Florida. Now, it's a bit complicated, but friends of the birth mother, they'd cared for the boy with the intention of adopting him. The birth mother and her new husband, 26-year-old Michael Hopkins, you see him right there, decided they wanted Evan back, and a Florida judge agreed, allowing Amanda and Michael Hopkins to remove the boy from the Florida home, take him to their north suburban Glenview home, where the couple owns a townhome. Now, on Sunday, the Department of Children and Family Services received a call on its hotline that Evan had been abused. On Monday, DCFS asked Glenview Police for help in investigating that report. And according to Glenview Police, they found that Michael Hopkins, quote, while performing parental discipline, caused physical harm to a family member, his 4-year-old stepson. Hopkins has been charged with misdemeanor domestic battery, released on $10,000 bond. Now, tonight, Amanda Hopkins answered the door at the family's home, but quickly shut it, saying she had no comment. The spokesman for DCFS says Michael Hopkins has been ordered to move out of the home during their investigation, that any visits with his children would be supervised. The couple also has an infant girl. Now, we're told that the Florida couple who had Evan for the first 3 years of his life are tonight, quoting here, extremely horrified about what happens. They say, if anything, this will reinvigorate their efforts to get Evan back in their home. Live in Glenview, Dane Placco, Fox News, Chicago.
I take it from that, Dane, that there are still legal efforts going on trying to change the ruling?
That's right. They've been continuing their legal efforts for some time, Robin, but as you know, these cases grind on very slowly, often taking years. This certainly, in the eyes of the Florida parents, is going to speed up their efforts.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Dane Placco. A healthcare employee in West Suburban Bloomingdale is charged with sexually assaulting and impregnating a patient. 18-year-old Reynaldo Brucal Jr. is being held on $1 million bond. Police say he raped a severely disabled 23-year-old woman last year at the Alden Village Health Facility, where he worked as a nurse's aide. No one knew about the attack until June, when doctors found the woman was pregnant. She gave birth to a baby girl in July. Investigators took DNA samples from employees, and they say Brucal's DNA matches the baby's. He faces up to 30 years in prison for the sexual assault. The baby is being raised by the rape victim's mother. Mayor Daley's new budget blueprint is steering clear of an increase in property taxes or any other taxes except one. The mayor wants to puff up the city's cigarette tax by 20 cents more a pack. Otherwise, he says, cutting spending and improving efficiency should be enough to close a budget gap of more than $100 million.
No one wants to raise taxes or fees, but I have concluded that in order to keep our city moving forward, the only new or increased tax we'll include in the budget next year is an increase in the cigarette tax.
The mayor's also backed off a proposal to tax deliveries by companies like FedEx and UPS. Hundreds of people who opposed the Iraq war took their message today to downtown Chicago. They gathered for a rally at Federal Plaza. This was one of several rallies around the country organized by a national group that is demanding President Bush's resignation. Police in riot gear were out in force, but officers say all was peaceful. There were no arrests. 4,000 mourners packed a church today in Detroit, the hometown recently of Rosa Parks. They gathered to say goodbye to a civil rights pioneer who changed the course of history. Jeff Goldblatt was at today's funeral.
The world will be better for this.
In song and in prayer, they came to honor the memory of the seamstress who stitched some of the first threads that eventually led to a tapestry of freedom. Rosa Parks, 92 years old, getting a grand send-off from her adopted hometown, the city of Detroit. Hundreds of people stood outside at near freezing temperatures in the early morning hours to try and get a seat inside the church where Rosa Parks' funeral took place. It lasted for several hours, a who's who list of dignitaries inside among the more than 4,000 people. Speakers including the Reverends Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and former President Bill Clinton.
Rosa Parks has gone on to her just reward. Now that she has gone home and left us behind, let us never forget that in that simple act and a lifetime of grace and dignity, she showed us every single day what it means to be free.
It's a given that I would not be here today were it not for this small woman who lies before us.
The last leg for Rosa Parks was an extraordinary one. A humble and diminutive woman getting a grand goodbye. Her remains traveling to the nation's capital, where her body lay in state in the Capitol Rotunda. Just the first woman and second African American to have had this honor. And finally, here to Detroit, the city Parks moved to escape threats and harassment in the Deep South, and where she lived for nearly a half-century, continuing her civil rights crusade. It has been said that the mark of a person's life is how they are memorialized in death. In the case of Rosa Parks, then, her awesome send-off underscores her immeasurable legacy. In Detroit, Jeff Goldblatt, Fox News.
A dormitory party at the University of Chicago is threatening to give the whole school a bad rap. thanks to the choice of rap music as the costume party theme. Minority students say they were offended at the sight of white students dressed up like racial stereotypes. Our Lily Chacon has the story.
Students wanted a hip-hop theme, so they called it a straight thuggin' party.
They made it very clear that black people are what straight thuggin' looks like.
It looked like 20 white kids wearing sideways hats and faking gang signs, sporting low-slung baggies and thong underwear, drinking liquor out of paper bags, and wearing handcuffs. They even posted pictures on the internet.
Honestly, I thought they were really bad taste. I thought it was a really bad way to depict a group of people.
The pictures look a lot like a minstrel show. They're really repulsive. They pretty much depict all of the stereotypes about black people.
The October 14th party was held in a freshman dorm, and there have been repercussions throughout the student body and into the school papers.
It is indicative of the racial climate on this campus and the ignorance that most students on this campus have regarding racial stereotypes.
Party organizers seemed genuinely stunned by the outrage. They wrote an apology saying they did not completely think out the implications and saying they now realize they were ignorant. University heads have agreed to step up minority recruitment and call the incident a teachable moment.
I think they're already learning. The conversations that have been held between the students who had the party and the students who were offended by it has already been strong.
That was Lily Chacon reporting from Hyde Park. Well, sometimes you feel a change of seasons all in one week, all the seasons. Now we are getting a taste of summer in November. We kind of like this one. Let's go to Rick DeMaio for our first look at the weather. Rick?
How you doing, Robin? It's only going to get better. Temperatures this afternoon, as you can see, topped out in the mid to upper 60s when the normal high is in the low to mid 50s, and it's still pretty mild out there right now. 60 out here, but it's in the upper 60s out to the west of us, and it looks like more of that is coming our way for tomorrow. So 60s today, but what type of weather do we normally get in Chicago in November? We'll run down all the numbers and take a look at the full 7-day coming up in just a few minutes. Robin?
Thank you, Rick. Tonight there could be new trouble for Abercrombie & Fitch. Its new T-shirts have some people calling for a boycott again. Are they offensive or harmless?
They're not trying to, offend anyone. They're just trying to make everyone laugh.
Well, check out what all the fuss is about this time and judge for yourself coming up on Fox News Chicago. Also coming up in just 2 minutes, Governor Blagojevich loses a battle over tattoos. Some teenagers will like this. Some of their parents may not. And the politics of pot, the city that's approved a live and let live policy on marijuana.
You're watching Fox News at 9.
This portion of Fox News is brought to you by U.S. Cellular.
It's Nina, right?
Right.
Which one of these phones looks like it comes with a great network?
I don't know.
Okay. Which one feels like it comes with a great network?
No idea.
Exactly, because you can't really tell unless you hear the network.
Hear for yourself how great our network is. Put it to the test for 30 days.
Not even the sniff test helps.
U.S. Cellular, we connect with you. Right now, get 2 free Motorola camera phones.
Sweet home, Chicago. Jumping jack flags, it's a gas, gas, gas. I would die for you. Wow! Give me all my breath. How long? I'm just a girl, a little lonely. She's a super freak,
Radio Insanity. Yeah. The new 104.3 Jack FM. Playing what we want.
Bart and Lisa write an itchy and scratchy show.
Write a cartoon ourselves? You thinking what I'm thinking?
The Simpsons.
Tonight at 10 on Fox Chicago.
The new Nissan Xterra is 2006 Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year. So we shared the award with our Xterra.
At LaSalle Bank, we do all the work, providing the right financial tools and investment options, so all you have to do is agree on where to retire. LaSalle Bank, making more possible.
found myself arranging the crackers in concentric circles, before the guests get there.
This woman making some serious confessions. Now she's written 2 books urging wives and mothers, start slacking off before you fall into the domestic deep end and drown. That is in the Fox Focus coming up. Up first, though, Abercrombie & Fitch, a company that seems to court controversy as much as customers. It's in the headlines once again, this time for T-shirts that critics call demeaning to women. Some girls in Pennsylvania have already launched a boycott, and here in Illinois, one of the candidates for governor is getting into the debate. Nancy Pender reports.
Controversy is practically a holiday tradition for Abercrombie & Fitch. It seems that every year at this time, the retailer does something to cause an uproar. Remember the 2003 Christmas catalog? Well, it looks like this year will be no different.
No, they didn't do that.
Ingrid Harris is reacting to a new line of Abercrombie T-shirts that have outraged some conservative groups. The shirts sport messages that have been called demeaning to women, like the Anatomy Tutor tee, or this one, who needs brains when you have these? And those are the ones we can show you.
It's one thing to have freedom of speech, but you have to be, appropriate, and that's totally inappropriate.
State Senator and candidate for governor Steve Rauschenberger is so outraged that he's about to introduce a resolution calling on the retailer to pull the tees.
These T-shirts are an abomination. They're a mistake. They should not be marketed to children. They should not be marketed in malls, and they should not be marketed by legitimate companies on the internet.
But not everyone understands the fuss.
It's not that serious, it's just shirts, people wearing for fun.
They're not trying to, offend anyone. They're just trying to make everyone laugh and just get it out there.
And to those who say Rauschenberger is playing into the company's hands by providing it with free pre-holiday publicity, he says evidence suggests otherwise, that the company's sales actually dipped after it was forced to pull some racy catalogs from circulation a few years ago. The retailer has yet to comment on that claim or return any of our calls, but recent figures suggest that Abercrombie sales have been solidly higher for at least the last 2 years. One Abercrombie worker says there's no sign the T-shirt controversy is wearing on the company. Think they'll eventually pull these T-shirts?
Most likely not. Really? Most likely not, but we'll eventually sell out of them before anything else.
Nancy Pender, Fox News, Chicago.
And the latest Abercrombie & Fitch debate is the subject of tonight's Voice Your Choice. Our question, are you offended by the messages on the new Abercrombie & Fitch T-shirts, those that you've seen? If you say yes, please call 1-900-988-5276. If you say no, they don't bother you, call 1-900-988-5277. A call will cost you 75 cents. We ask that you be over the age of 18 to call in. We're going to show you those numbers again and have the results later in this newscast. State lawmakers have lowered the legal age for tattoos. The Illinois Senate voted today to lower the age for tattoos from 21 to 18. The state House approved it last week, both chambers overriding a veto by Governor Blagojevich, so the measure becomes law. The governor has said 18-year-olds don't have the proper judgment to make such a permanent decision, but the new law puts Illinois in line with 37 other states that do allow 18-year-olds to get tattoos. And topping tonight's news briefs, Supreme Court nominee Samuel Alito spent time today talking to senators on Capitol Hill, including Illinois Senator Dick Durbin. Mr. Durbin is one of the senators who says he's still undecided about Alito's nomination. But in a meeting today, Durbin seemed to be satisfied with Alito's stand on whether there is an implied right to privacy in the Constitution.
He didn't go quite as far as John Roberts did in his hearing. He satisfied me that he recognized this to be one of the unenumerated rights in the Constitution, this basic right of privacy. And he led me to believe that he felt that it was an established right.
Some Senate aides say it could take several weeks before there's a full Senate vote on Alito's nomination. In Iraq, a violent day again for both Iraqis and Americans. 6 more U.S. troops have been killed, 2 of them in a helicopter crash. And a suicide bomber blew up a minibus in a crowded outdoor market, killing about 20 Iraqis. Iraq's government, meanwhile, is trying to bolster its army by inviting officers who served under Saddam Hussein to rejoin. Not with too much luck. The United States disbanded Iraq's army right after the invasion in 2003. And 9 towns northeast of Paris, France, have been hit by street violence after the accidental deaths of 2 teenagers. Over the past week, about 180 cars have been torched and police have arrested 35 people. Some Some of the unrest is believed to be due to frustration over grinding unemployment and police harassment in the communities where many North African immigrants live. Prince Charles and his new bride, Camilla Parker Bowles, attended a rare black-tie dinner this evening at the White House. There was no shortage of pageantry for the royal couple as they were greeted by President Bush and his wife, Laura. The black-tie evening featured buffalo for dinner and music by cellist Yo-Yo Ma. Tonight's affair, not officially termed a state dinner, was just the 6th in Bush's presidency. Mayor Daley's talking about a medical mess that thousands of people are facing tonight. With a respected health company stands accused of fraud. Coming up, new information about how the city and other agencies are responding. Also tonight, a story that reads like a line from Lassie. A dog owner plunges over a cliff with just one hope for rescue. And you know that story a little later on. And Rick?
Robin, temperatures in the 60s today, but it's November, so 70s tomorrow. Full details coming up.
This is life. This is Life and Drive.
Get into the all-new Fusion for under $18,000. Ford Fusion, built for Chicago, built for the road ahead.
What if is not a priority? What if never gets the time of day? What if always takes a back seat to how was work? In fact, the only time what if gets any attention at all is when what if becomes why us? Find out why millions turn to American Family Insurance. A little peace of mind for less than you'd expect.
American Family Insurance.
The boys take the ride of their lives until it takes a turn for the worse. Malcolm in the Middle.
Tonight at 10:30 on Fox Chicago.
At Menards, we provide the best service and quality products. Freshen up your walls with Ultra Interior Flat Paint that features a 25-year warranty from Pittsburgh Paints. Only $13.99 a gallon. Add style with Delta Faucets, plus receive a $20 rebate on all Delta Bath Faucets, $79 or more. Choose from this tub and shower faucet or this sink faucet, only $59 after rebate. Plus, there's no interest, no payments till summer with your big car.
Save big money at Menards.
What do you got there, sir?
Vanilla Spice. It's one of those new flavored coffees from Dunkin' Donuts.
That's a change for you.
Yeah. Woke up in the mood to try something a little different today.
I see.
The new flavored coffees from Dunkin' Donuts. Try one in toasted almond or vanilla spice. Dunkin' Donuts. Bring yourself back. Now get a 14-ounce Tropicana Pure Premium Orange Juice for 99 cents with any combo.
The city of Chicago expects to find out on Friday how many of its workers will have to retake their physical exams. The doctor in charge of the original exams may have faked the results. Byron Harlan has the latest on the investigation.
They all came here. Police officers, firefighters, FBI agents, even prospective railroad workers, all to receive medical tests to see if they were up for those jobs. Exactly how many is now the subject of some furious re-examination because Chicago city leaders say the doctor who performed the tests may have faked the results.
It affected everyone because everyone used this company. Well recognized, people used it.
They also relied on Dr. Barry Fisher to provide accurate results. Turns out some of the tests carried the signature stamp of a doctor who no longer worked there. Now city leaders have started recounting, reevaluating, and retesting workers.
The city's taking a very conservative position. So anytime there's any question of whether someone should or should not be retested, we are retesting. And in fact, some employees have already begun the retesting process.
Dr. Fisher and workers at his firm evaluated the health of police and fire personnel. They also provided drug testing and other screening for prospective Metro workers. That's not all.
Anytime an employee had an injury or illness to determine whether they were fit to return to work, that's a significant responsibility.
The Metro representative says no one knows if Dr. Fisher and his firm defrauded them, but they're part of the investigation into what most everyone used to think was a first-rate firm. Byron Harlan, Fox News, Chicago.
The city is going to retest workers in high-stress jobs as a priority, certain police officers and firefighters, as well as the people who handle hazardous materials. A lawsuit is settled from that mid-air collision of two planes that killed a student pilot and Chicago radio personality Bob Collins. The family of student pilot Sharon Hawk is going to receive $410,000 from Collins' estate. The crash happened over Waukegan back in 2000. Hawk was practicing takeoffs and landings when her plane collided with a plane being piloted by Collins. The National Transportation Safety Board ruled that Collins and an air traffic controller at the Waukegan Airport share responsibility for the crash. Other lawsuits are still pending. A doctor who's being called a hero for saving a patient from a hit-and-run driver remains in serious condition tonight. 64-year-old Chung Song was hit by a car after he pushed a woman out of harm's way yesterday outside a Southside Medical Clinic. Song clung to the hood until the driver hit a cement barrier, throwing the doctor to the ground. He underwent surgery today after suffering internal injuries and a broken leg. Police say a 14-year-old boy was behind the wheel of that car, which was stolen. The boy was arrested and charged shortly after the accident. The best weather of the week is yet to come. Believe it or not, Rick DeMille is in next with his updated forecast. We'll also have the Fox Focus.
You want to make the appearance that you've got everything in your world under control.
This woman's trying as hard as she can to be the perfect wife and mother, but she says she is losing the battle. Coming up, an unlikely and unusual cure for stressed-out domestic goddesses. And leaping lizards, the Shedd Aquarium hatches a little bit of history. Stay with Fox News.
This portion of Fox News is brought to you by DirecTV.
Dad? Hey, buddy. Could you read me a story? Football.
That's okay. I can freeze time.
Whoa.
The DirecTV DVR, the most magical thing that ever happened to TV. Finally, an easy-to-use DVR that gives you the power to pause and rewind live TV, so you'll never miss a second of what's important to you.
Somebody up there loves you. DirecTV.
Sign up and get a DirecTV DVR free. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
You know you shrunk it. Tell me you shrunk it.
Jerry's got shrinkage.
I shrunk it.
Seinfeld.
Tonight at 11 on Fox Chicago.
I'm Tamron Hall.
And I'm David Navarro. So, how do you tell your lover what you want in the bedroom?
The love doctor, Laura Berman, tells you the do's and don'ts of critiquing your mate.
Plus, if you ever thought of buying a laptop, now is the time.
Dr. J has great prices that are lower than ever.
That's tomorrow on Fox News in the Morning, beginning at 5.
Everyone talks about how tough their truck is, how much it can haul. But when we build a truck, we like to think beyond the first load, to the second, the third, the fourth. That's why load after load, job after job, year after year, nothing stops a Tundra. Toyota Trucks, moving forward.
Choxy. Chocolate with Moxie. Cha-cha-choxy. Key lime pie. Lemon raspberry. Ooh, mint. Coconut. Chocolate champagne. Choxy. Cha-cha-choxy.
Some rare births at Chicago's Shedd Aquarium. The first caiman lizards born in North America. The 3 new arrivals hatched behind the scenes over the last 2 weeks. The exotic little creatures posed for their first close-up today. Caiman lizards are natives of South America's rainforests and swamps, so they won't be going outside around here certain months out of the year. But hey, right now we're not, it's tropical compared to what it could be.
Tomorrow, next couple of days, if you haven't planted any of the spring bulbs, you know, for next year, maybe the next couple of days is the time to do it, because 60s today, maybe even the 70s tomorrow. But look at some of the extremes we've had in Chicago. In the month of November, it was up to 81 on the 1st of November back in 1950, but we've been as cold as 2 below on the 24th of November, same year, 1950. Matter of fact, that represents an 83-degree change from the one high to the one low, and that's the greatest ever in any month in Chicago. Normally, we see temperatures in the mid-50s and mid-30s for an overnight low, but by the end of the month of November, the actual afternoon highs bottom out right around 40 degrees and morning lows in the 20s. In fact, that 15-degree difference represents the greatest one-month change in any month in Chicago's 12-month climatological data, if you want to call it that. But instead of getting cold, we're actually going to get quite warm. Look at the way this trough begins to develop off the west coast. That means some big snows, probably in the mountains of California, as well as Nevada, and also up into Washington State. But right here across the middle part of the country, when it gets stormy out west, usually that means things begin to warm up. And all the computer models suggest that this jet stream pattern will basically remain the same between now and probably the next 7 to 10 days. So while it's going to stay mild here in the middle part of the country, it should stay very stormy out to the west. And it looks like this mild weather will be with us not only for the next couple days, but maybe much of next week as well, outside of a little bit of a cool down coming up for upcoming weekend. But overall, the weather looks great between now and probably Saturday. As we zoom into the Midwest, it made it up to 66 today in Chicago, 73 in St. Louis, 71 up in Minneapolis, but it was 82 in Omaha and 80 down in Topeka, and all this weather is heading our way. So we think we're going to take a pretty good run at the low to mid 70s both tomorrow into Friday as well. High pressure off to the east, low pressure to the west. Look at the way this warm front is now well to the north of us, and very mild weather with us tonight under fairly windy conditions as well, with temperatures generally in the 60s. We're currently 60 at O'Hare, 59 at Midway, 57 both at DePage as well as Joliet. And look at that wind howling out of the southwest, at times better than 30 miles per hour. 54 is a normal high. As we mentioned, made it up to 66, but the record for tomorrow is only 74. And with nothing but sunshine out there forecasted, we think we're going to get pretty close to that, but nothing in the way of any rain or snow across the Midwest or the Northwest until maybe late tomorrow afternoon as that storm system begins to work its way onshore. So high pressure once again dominates. Southwesterly flow will push the temperatures in the 70s tomorrow. Look at the way the rain and snow generally stay well to the north and west of us, not only through tomorrow, not only through Friday, but probably Saturday. Next best chance of any rain, maybe early Sunday morning. So bottom line, mild and basically breezy night tonight. Down to the lower 50s, 73 tomorrow when the record high is 75, set back in 1987. Warm weather continues into Friday with a high of 72, just 2 degrees off the record, but a little bit of a cool front comes through probably late Saturday night into Sunday. So we'll check the temperatures back into the 50s on Sunday, but then right back into the mild stuff for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. I like it when November acts like September.
It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Supermodel Tyra Banks went undercover to expose the injustice suffered by fat women. Banks, who is admired by many for her perfect curves, wore a fat suit that gave her the shape of a 350-pound woman. She says within 10 minutes of walking down the street, people were openly staring and pointing and laughing at her. The segment airs next Monday at 4 o'clock during her talk show, which is on our sister station, UPN Channel 50. Tyra, fat, that's an odd thing to think about. Let's take a look now at what we'll see tomorrow on Fox News in the Morning starting at 5 a.m. Hi, coming up tomorrow, Dr. Laura Berman, the Love Doctor, is going to give some advice on a very touchy subject, how to critique your lover in the bedroom. I know, it's a tough one.
And the price of laptops are dropping. Dr. J has no problem, though, critiquing what's out there and what you can get for under $500. Back to you.
Well, any wife and mother knows being perfect takes a lot of energy. We're about to meet a woman, though, who says she was going crazy trying to do it all. See how she simplified her domestic duties by slacking off. Also ahead, it seems a four-legged hero was just returning the favor. Check out the canine rescue.
This portion of Fox News is brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Impala. With a standard 211 horsepower V6, it has an estimated 31 miles per gallon highway. That's better than Honda Accord LX V6 or Toyota Camry LE V6. Impala, it's a whole new animal.
Get a low-mileage lease on an 06 Chevy Impala 1LT for around $239 a month. Residency restrictions apply. See dealer for details. That's the Chevy Total Value Promise. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
Whoa, chocolate Yoplait. This is like Zen wrapped in karma, dipped in chocolate. Good.
Soaking in a chocolate bath. Good.
Chocolate body wrap. Good.
Getting a foot massage while shoe shopping.
For chocolate covered heels. Good.
Of course.
Introducing Yoplai's oh-so-indulgent chocolate mousse whips. It is so good.
This is like dating a masseuse. Good.
Now Yoplai's great taste in new Yoplait smoothie.
How to plan the perfect dinner party.
It's going to be a buffet.
Buffet! On the next Frasier.
Tonight at 11:30 on Fox Chicago. The Simpsons, tonight at 10 on Fox Chicago. The all-new FoxChicago.com. See it on TV? Get the info you need whenever you want. Listings, links, lots of cool stuff. FoxChicago.com.
If you really like shopping online, but you don't like waiting and waiting for packages to arrive, Circuit City makes it simple. Just make your purchase at CircuitCity.com and choose the in-store pickup option. We're the only place that guarantees your order will be ready for pickup in 24 minutes or less. If it's not, we'll give you a $24 gift card. It's that simple. Circuit City.
Steerable bi-xenon headlights. Just one of the 120 not-so-standard features available on the all-new German-engineered Passat. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
We treat small business like nobody else's business. U.S. Cellular, we connect with you.
This portion of Fox News is brought to you by U.S. Cellular Business Solutions. U.S. Cellular, we connect with you.
An emotional memorial service today at Illinois State University for a student who was murdered. The service was in honor of 21-year-old Olamide Adeyoye, a senior from West Suburban Berkeley who disappeared last month from campus and was later found dead in Mississippi. She was a very popular student at ISU, and her family was touched by today's outpouring of love and support.
From the entire family, we use this medium to say, we thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Maurice Wallace lived on Adeyoye's block near the ISU campus. Now, he's been arrested in Atlanta on unrelated identity theft charges, but Adeyoye's car was also found in Atlanta. Police are now trying to determine if Wallace was involved in her death. Meanwhile, ISU announced it is awarding Adeyoye her Bachelor of Science degree posthumously. Still no leads in the case of a missing Aurora woman. 47-year-old Marilyn Bethel was last seen on Sunday. On Monday, her car was involved in a crash, but she was not in it. Witnesses say a man with a gun was in it. He hopped out and got away. Police suspect foul play in Bethel's disappearance. They've interviewed dozens of her friends, relatives, and co-workers, and no one can say where she could be. Denver is reaffirming its title as the Mile High City. Voters there have approved a new ordinance legalizing marijuana. The new law, approved by just over half of the voters, allows adults over 21 to possess up to 1 ounce of pot. Critics argue the measure is just a lot of smoke, since marijuana is still illegal under state and federal laws. But supporters are already setting their sights on other cities.
We plan to continue doing stuff around Colorado. I mean, as we've said from the beginning, this is a statewide movement and the beginning of a nationwide movement.
Denver is the third major city to relax marijuana laws. Seattle and Oakland have passed similar measures. We'll talk about a man's best friend. Here's the story of a man who survived a plunge down an embankment thanks to his dog. Michael Bosch of Marin County, California, was out for a drive the other day with his Cocker Spaniel, Honey. He missed a turn and his SUV plunged down 30 feet. Bosch's leg was crushed, but he managed to free Honey from inside the car, and she ran for help, of course. Honey was just returning a favor, though. Bosch had adopted her from a shelter 2 weeks earlier. Bosch is still in the hospital. He says without Honey, he has no idea how anyone would have ever found him. Now that's a Honey. Everywhere women turn today, they are inundated with strong messages. Be perfect on the job. Be the perfect wife. Be the perfect mom. Coming up, the antidote to all that perfection pressure in the Fox Focus. And later in sports, the Chicago Cubs. Remember them? Well, today they did something the White Sox failed to do. Corey McFerrin has details. Could that be?
OC Thursday is back.
Are you stalking me?
And bigger than ever.
I thought today was going to be boring.
The OC.
Thursday at 7 on Fox Chicago.
Thursday on Fox Chicago, 5 pregnancies, all lost to miscarriage, losing babies and not knowing why. One determined woman, one potential treatment. Will it work? Fox Chicago's Margaret Shortridge follows this would-be mother as she attempts to unravel her miscarriage mystery. Thursday.
There's a birth control pill called Seasonal that's almost exactly like traditional birth control pills. The protection is the same, the hormones are the same, but prescription Seasonal has a difference. It extends the time between your periods. How? Each pack has 3 straight months of active pills instead of 3 weeks. You get a period when you finish the 3-month pack, so you have 4 periods a year. During the first year on Seasonal, you're more likely to have bleeding or spotting between periods than with typical pills. This can be slight to a flow like a regular period. Total days of bleeding were similar. Like other birth control pills, Seasonal has serious risks, including blood clots, stroke, and heart attack. Smoking increases these risks, especially if you're over 35. If you've ever had any of these conditions, certain cancers, or if you could be pregnant, you shouldn't take the pill. The pill doesn't protect against HIV or STDs. Log on to Seasonal.com or ask your healthcare professional. Sometimes a little difference is the difference you should ask about. Seasonal. Fewer periods, more possibilities.
A wedding day shocker.
You love me, I know that. Come away with me.
On the reunion.
Thursday at 8 on Fox Chicago. Monday on Fox News Chicago. He's the city's most controversial sports icon.
Does the nickname Dollar Bill make you angry?
Bill Wirtz. And he's going toe-to-toe with Mark Zapelza.
You realize what it costs us to produce a game? Is it unfair that the finger gets pointed at the Wirtz family? I mean, you trying to say we should sell the franchise to someone who can win a championship?
2 men, 1 raw interview. A closer look with Mark Zapelza. Monday at 9, only on Fox Chicago.
This is life. This is Life and Drive.
Get into the all-new Fusion for under $18,000. Ford Fusion, built for Chicago, built for the road ahead.
It's Wix store-wide power package sale. Extra pieces, extra value, extra savings store-wide. Get hundreds of dollars in extra savings on any power package. Plus, 0 money down, 0 minimum purchase, 0 interest till January 2010. Say it again, 2010. Power up your savings at Wix now.
Today I had to get up at 5, make lunches, make breakfast, drop the twins off at school, and get across town lugging a baby and a sick child.
It's a scene from a popular TV show, but this desperate housewife may seem a lot like someone you know, if not you. Wives and mothers, listen up. It's time to let go, slow down, and start slacking. At least that's what one stressed-out domestic goddess has decided. She's trying to convince her peers there is no such thing as the perfect mom or the perfect spouse, so she says just stop trying. Mark Saxenmeyer explains in tonight's Fun Fox Focus.
There we go. Perfect.
Kim Scheifelbein is about to admit a deep, dark secret.
I literally, in the morning when I'm trying to get my daughter out the door, if she doesn't have the right matching hair bow, it's a bad day.
And Kim says her own hair and makeup must be just right.
To be the perfect mother, the perfect wife, have everything in its place.
Welcome to Stepford.
Kim knows that perfection is fiction, but everywhere she turns, she says she's confronted with images of what she should be.
4, 3, 2,
In addition to her domestic duties, Kim teaches part-time and does volunteer work, all while trying to attend to husband Chad's needs as well.
Although I'm fulfilled, I'd like to be happy, maybe not as tired, maybe not as grouchy.
In other words, Kim needs to start slacking. At least that's what this woman thinks. Muffy Meade Farrow is the author of Confessions of a Slacker Wife and its sequel, Confessions of a Slacker Mom.
You know what? I think that we might be a lot better off oftentimes if we did less.
Muffy believes today's modern women juggling careers and kids are simply lost in a crazy competition to be the best.
I found myself scrubbing the light switches, you know, with a toothbrush and doing all those things and finally going, what happened to you? You know, when did you lose it?
And with that, Muffy became a slacker, determined to help other women become slackers too.
So Kim, it sounds like you feel sometimes a little bit overwhelmed.
Every day we have at least one activity, 1 to 2 classes a day. So we're constantly on the move.
All of the classes are good, but I think it's also good to give them that downtime. She can have endless fun with paper towels or tinfoil.
Ooh, sounds like a lot of fun. Among Muffy's other suggestions for slacker moms, pick a preschool based less on reputation and more on its proximity to home. Clean up counter crumbs, but quit trying to disinfect every single surface and embrace the culinary concept of leftover stew. Then there's my personal favorite. Muffy suggests taking clothes that family members have left in the laundry hamper, checking them over for obvious signs of dirt or stains, and then with the less problematic ones, folding them back up and placing them right back in the dresser drawer. Something Supermom Kim would surely find in bad taste.
I would never do that normally, but yeah, I've been doing it.
After Kim read Muffy's books, she says she's a new woman.
You know, I used to, everything, it would go on my daughter's body, it'd go into the wash, and then I'd iron it. Forget it.
And she's cut out her volunteer work altogether.
Right now, I think she's kind of struck that balance.
She's even stopped getting dressed up to go to daycare.
Now I can go in my workout clothes and ponytail and pick up her, and I'm okay. It really helped me to just take a step back.
So you're gonna be a slacker?
More so than I have been.
Yet another mom confesses. With the Fox Focus, Mark Saxenmeyer, Fox News.
7-day forecast and your take on those new Abercrombie & Fitch t-shirts, both coming out. Plus, Chicago's South Side now apparently extends all the way to Springfield.
I'm Corey McFerrin. Sports just around the corner. The Bears looking for a few good men who can catch the football. And Ozzie Palooza also makes a stop on West Madison, where the Bulls tip it off against the Charlotte Bobcats.
This portion of Fox News is brought to you by Ashley Furniture Home Store.
This holiday season, there are only 2 ways to get what you really want. Chat with Santa and hope. Or hurry into Ashley Furniture Home Store's festive Home for the Holidays event. You'll not only find America's favorite furniture, for a limited time you'll get no interest until 2009 and our always low Ashley Direct prices. So don't count on Santa. Hurry into the Home for the Holidays event, only at Ashley Furniture Home Store. You're gonna love this holiday place.
Shining is finding comfort when it's needed most. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we'll stand with you to simplify and shed light on your health care. Because along the way you realize comfort isn't always physical. Sometimes it's a state of mind. Lean on Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, shining through.
Good news, I got us on the family share plan. Each of you gets a Verizon wireless phone, so whenever you go out, you'll have the network. When you guys go to the mall,
We'll have the network.
and when you go wherever it is that you go.
I'll have the network.
There's only one family share plan that also has the nation's most reliable wireless network. Add up to 3 lines for just $9.99 each. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
2 dozen elderly burned to death in a bus fire.
just an accident, or was a crime committed? Geraldo's in Dallas to investigate.
Tonight at midnight.
Roxy,
Yes.
don't tell me. First paycheck.
Yes.
Who can turn the world on with her smile? Who can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile? Well, it's you, girl, and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around. No need to waste it. You can have the town. Why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all. You're the one most likely to succeed. Just be sure to keep your head, 'cause girl, you know that's all you need. Everyone adores you, so don't give up.
Free checking with direct deposit, online banking, email alerts, and 7,100 ATMs. Chase is here to help you make it.
You're gonna make it after
Your choice, your Chase.
You can't buy a used car from just anyone.
I can't have car problems.
Nuh-uh.
Like, I need that?
That's why more people are driving Toyota certified used vehicles. Good warranty.
Good quality.
In fact, our certified vehicles have all these great features, plus Toyota's legendary quality.
Hot stuff.
That's why Toyota says,
The best new cars.
make the best used cars.
No doubt.
Get ready for winter with 4.99% financing on select Toyota certified used vehicles. Toyota, moving forward.
This portion of Fox News is brought to you by Toyota, moving forward.
A hero's reception in Springfield today for White Sox manager Ozzie Guillen and owner Jerry Reinsdorf. The House chamber was decked in White Sox memorabilia as state lawmakers approved a resolution congratulating the Sox on the World Series win. Earlier, Ozzie and Jerry signed autographs and posed for photos with the governor.
Manager Guillen was very kind and didn't think it was appropriate for him to be in the center of the picture, and he wanted to go to the side and have me be in the center. And I told him something that I know everybody in this chamber would agree with. I said, oh no, you should be in the center. I'm just the governor of Illinois, but you're the manager of the world champion Chicago White Sox.
And when the governor came out there, he put up with the White Sox fans booing because they weren't happy knowing that he's a Cubs fan.
You got it. He's got to deal with it,
That's
you know?
right. There you go, and happily so.
Well, guess what?
Ozzie was everywhere, right?
Yeah, Ozzie doesn't miss a thing. You know, even basketball games. The baton has been passed, one Jerry Reinsdorf team to another. The Bulls hoping a little bit of White Sox pixie dust falls their way as the season tips off tonight at the United Center. Yeah, the 2005 Ozfest Tour continues on the west side. Huge ovation tonight, as there was for 28 service members introduced in pregame ceremonies, all recovering from injuries sustained in Iraq. To the game, Tyson Chandler stripped early. Gerald Wallace will finish. Wallace scoring 18 in the first half. And, folks, it is brutal. Late second quarter, Kirk Heinrich trying to get something going. Brevin Knight mugs him, and Knight will take it coast to coast. Bobcats by 19 at the break. Gets worse. Late third quarter, Heinrich driving. He'll land awkwardly on Sean May's foot. He is forced to leave the game. No word yet how serious the injury might be. Bulls getting pummeled. Right now they trail 6 minutes to go, 93-78. And how about Larry Brown makes his Knicks coaching debut against the Celtics tonight? Speaking of debuts, how about former Bull Eddie Curry, third quarter? Eddie throws it down, 2 of his 19. The Knicks, however, lose in overtime, 114-100. And we got hockey. Hawks in St. Louis trying to snap that 4-game losing slide. Jim Vandermeer and Aaron Downey saying hello in aggressive fashion. Third period, 3-2 Hawks. Pavel Boroviev, a shot that just trickles into the net. Hawks lead 4-2. They'd have a 3-goal lead in the third, but it evaporates late. Jamal Myers for St. Louis ties it up 5-all, and it's on to overtime. But the Hawks eke out the win. That's Brent Seabrook, his first goal as a Hawk, and they win it 6-5. Well, for the first time in what seems like forever, a Cubs story. Gold Gloves handed out today. Greg Maddux, surprise, surprise, is a winner. His 15th Gold Glove in 16 years. Derek Lee singled out as well. It's his second time on the Gold Glove team. We go to Bears land now, where Lovie Smith and company prepare for a trip south to play the Saints. Justin Gage will start as expected for Mark Bradley, who was lost for the year when he tore up his right knee in Sunday's game. Big question is, can Gage step up, or will it be any of the other wideouts on the roster like Carl Ford here or Bobby Wade? One thing we do know, Moose Muhammad can't be Kyle Orton's only target.
That's a good shot there.
How confident are you that somebody's going to jump up and say, hey, give me the ball?
Well, it's open season, you know, and that position is wide open. I think guys definitely have an opportunity here. If they want to be a playmaker, here's an opportunity to be a playmaker.
Obviously, it hurt us all to see Bradley go down, but, you know, now it just opens up an opportunity for the rest of the guys to step up. You know, we got to, you know, little brothers, big brothers got to step up. We all got to step up.
Big plays get noticed. Peanut Tillman's pick and return for touchdown that won Sunday's game in overtime earns him NFC Defensive Player of the Week honors. Bears have come a long way since Mike Brown's rather harsh assessment of his team 3 weeks ago. Remember that? Something along the lines of, we stink.
Those losses, we always lost those games because of something that we did as a football team. It wasn't like those teams were beating us, we were beating ourselves. And that's why I was saying what I was saying. But now we're finding ways to win those games.
Yes, they are. Bears look for a 4th straight win this Sunday. Other notes, the Cowboys signed former Bear Mark Colombo today. This after they cut ex-Bear Anthony Thomas loose yesterday. And the PGA wants to look like NASCAR. Details sketchy, but a points system will be adopted, setting the stage for a big money finish, much like the NASCAR chase for the championship. And finally, one more clip from the Ozfest Tour stop in Springfield.
I'm not going to say take a picture of me here because I don't want to be a governor. I told Mr. Daly yesterday I might take his job next year. But I don't think I'm smart enough to be a governor or mayor.
Ozzie could run for either and probably come pretty close to winning about now.
Okay, but knows where the power is. He don't want to be the governor.
No,
he wants to be the mayor and stay in the city.
You got it.
Okay, stay in Bridgeport, probably right by the park. Thank you, Corey. Yeah. And the weather around here is just going to stay nice, huh?
Yeah, let's play baseball tomorrow, right? Check out the temperature. As a matter of fact, the record high for tomorrow is 75. We'll get close with a high of 73. A lot of sunshine. Still pretty mild right now in Chicago. 60 out of here, 59 in Midway. 72 on Friday. A little bit of a cool front comes through for Saturday and Sunday, but then right back into the mild weather for much of next week. November's looking pretty good.
So far. And now the results of tonight's Voice Your Choice question. It concerned new T-shirts being sold by Abercrombie and Fitch. No stranger to controversy. These T-shirts contain messages that some say are demeaning to women. So we asked, are you offended by the messages on the new Abercrombie and Fitch T-shirts? 45% of you say yes, you are offended by the shirts and their messages. 55% of you say no, you are not. Thank you for letting us know what you think about that controversy. That's our news for tonight. We appreciate you watching. Fox News returns tomorrow morning at 5. Hope you'll tune in. Good night.
At Menards, you'll save big money on quality products like Richmond water heaters, all on sale. Natural gas, propane, electric, tankless, and power vent models. This 40-gallon natural gas model is $246. Update your bath with a new space-saving shower from American Shower and Bath. These showers fit conveniently into any corner and are only $299 each. Plus, there's no interest, no payments till summer with your big car.
Save big money at Menards.
Thanks for a wonderful evening.
It's my pleasure. Hey, is this your car?
Not on a first date. But, you want some coffee?
Oh, yeah.
The 265 horsepower Nissan Maxima.
Good improvement.
Thank you, Doctor.
Cholesterol's down. Well done.
Great.
Hello, doctor's office.
And I gotta tell you, nice job.
Mr. Decker?
I told you we'd get it down.
Yep, even doctors can have high cholesterol. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor can lower your bad cholesterol from 39 to 60%. In fact, more cardiologists surveyed said they'd prescribe Lipitor for their own family members than any other cholesterol brand. Lipitor is one of many cholesterol-lowering treatment options in addition to diet and exercise that you and your doctor can consider. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or who may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as these may be signs of a rare but serious side effect. Ask your doctor about Lipitor today.
We'll have the day's top stories, both local and national, all for you.
Can you get us all the rides at Disney World? Those highlights as well.
Plus, the weather forecast with Michelle Lee.
Is 1,500 enough for the biggest talkers? Let's find out.
He didn't break up with me. I broke up with him. No, you're not conceited. You were just honest. I think maybe our cheerleading squad should boycott tuna for a while. I was going to be the only one with the white swimsuit, and then she had it too. Can I, get a new battery? What? You got your head stuck in the sunroof? That's so not good. I love chewing gum. He's like, whatever. And I was like, whatever. And he's
Introducing our most whenever minutes ever. 1,500 minutes, just $39.99.
T-Mobile, go ahead, talk it out.
This is ABC 7 News at 10, Chicago's #1 news.
A Cook County jail escapee on the run since June is captured in Ohio. And tonight, Randy Rensher talks about why he turned himself in. Good evening, everyone. Rensher admits robbing several banks since escaping from the Cook County jail.
He was arrested in Cleveland today and is suspected of robbing a bank in Columbus back in September. ABC 7's John Garcia joins us with the story. John?
Around 37-year-old Randy Rensher managed to stay a step ahead of police for months. By his estimation, he has stolen several $100,000 by robbing banks. But he apparently got tired of running. As he was being led away this afternoon, he told a reporter, "It's time to face the music." With federal authorities surrounding him, Randy Rensher walks out of a Cleveland bar to a squad car. His 4 months on the run over. After seeing reports of himself on Cleveland television, he called the station, who then called the FBI.
I've been walking and praying for like 3 miles, and I stopped right here at Coach's. I felt it was the time to turn myself in.
The FBI believes Rensher is responsible for at least 5 bank robberies in 3 states. The most recent 2 weeks ago in Columbus, 2.5 hours outside Cleveland. Police found a bag he apparently left behind containing identification and a toy machine gun. Chicago authorities have been chasing Rensher for 4 months since his escape from the Cook County jail. He allegedly stole a guard's uniform and wore it during